Hello, I'm welcome to episode number, I think it's 376 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. This is going to be Monday Night Raw for week 3 of June 2023, and also known as the Go Home Show for Money in the Bank this weekend in London, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And yeah, we've got our Money in the Bank matches sorted, we've got our title match sorted. I think there is a match or two still left to be confirmed, but other than that, without any more further ado, let's jump straight into tonight's show. The show kicks off with the previously advertised Grayson Waller effect. Waller is the one who's in the ring by himself to start with, and he's like, "Welcome to the fucking Grayson Waller effect, mate." And tonight is a special night because we are now 5 nights away from Money in the Bank in London. You know, I don't understand why we're going over to London. You know, of course, Australia is the better place. Should have brought Money in the Bank to Australia, lad. You know, but it doesn't really change the outcome, at least for the men's match, because we already know he's climbing all the way to the top of that ladder, and that's Grayson Waller, baby. He's pulling that briefcase down. He's gonna get himself a title shot for any title he wants over the next year. But I suppose I better at least hear out the other competitors. You know, Big Batista, Big Dave. He's been in my ear saying I've got to do this, host the show tonight with everybody in both the men's and women's Money in the Bank ladder matches from Raw. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my first guest. She is the Women's Liberty Champion, Roxy Perez, and her sidekick, AJ Lee. Now, Roxy and AJ are the first two out. And Roxy's like, "Well, Grayson, you know, me and you haven't always seen eye to eye, but it's good to be here tonight." And AJ takes the mic and she's like, "Sidekick? Do you know who you're talking to, kid? Okay, like, I know you're kind of new around here. You don't really get how things work around here, but I'm nobody's sidekick, okay? Me and Roxy are friends. Roxy idolized me when she was broken into this business, and I'm taking her under my wing as a protege, okay? This isn't a sidekick leader thing, because if it was, we all know that I'd be on top and Roxy would be the underling. But hey, who's keeping track of stuff like that, you know? Of course, it would be nice if, you know, Roxy would eventually give me a title match for a championship, but hey, who knows? That could be a long time away. If I kept Money in the Bank, perhaps I can cash in and become the Liberty Champion, huh? Who's to say that I can't do that? And Roxy's like, "Are you okay, AJ? Like, is there something you want to tell me?" And then Xavier Woods comes out, and he goes, "Girls, you know, enough of this back and forth. You know, it pains me to see two women who respect and love each other so much as you two do at each other's throats, all for the chance to win that case. And don't get me wrong, I get it, because that case holds my dreams, okay? Kofi Mania, 4 years ago, I was there. The best one of my career was seeing Kofi become WWE Champion at WrestleMania. The second greatest one of my career was seeing E become World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania. And that leaves just me, just Xavier Woods, yet to become WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And that case holds my destiny. That case holds victory. That case holds dreams. And Grayson, you came out here, you said it's a foregone conclusion that you're going to win the case. I'd love to see you try, because you have to kill me to stop me from achieving my dreams. Okay, you've got years ahead of yourself, years left in this business to get your dreams done. I don't know, I'm on borrowed times, okay? I don't know how much longer I'm going to be doing here, and I need to get this done now." Out comes Shinsuke, and he goes, "Woods," he goes, "you talk a lot. There is one person who wins that case, becomes WWE Champion. Me." And Grace's like, "Oh, I could have said it any better myself, Shinsuke, you know. This is, you know, Aussie strong style, you know, like I pitched last week. Okay, I've got questions for all of you, but, you know, we've got to wait for everybody else to come out here first. Everyone's going to come out here and say their part. But Shinsuke, you know, if I'm not going to win, which I am, so there's no point in me even discussing this, you be my next pick, lad. You know, you deserve it." Out comes Zelina Vega. She goes, "Look, I get it, okay. I'm the underdog, okay. I've been here for, what, other than AJ, of course, longer than every other woman in this Money in the Bank ladder match, yet I'm stepping into the Lions Den for the first time in this Money in the Bank ladder match in London, but that's what makes me dangerous, because I'm a woman with nothing to lose, okay? I'm finally getting the respect I deserved. And winning that case on my first time of asking will prove that I belong here, okay? And you two can keep bickering over that Liberty Championship and who's going to win that case, but I've got my eyes firmly set on my goal, and that's becoming the champion. Out comes Julia. And she's like, well, it took me 2 years to get out of the shadow of Asuka. Now I'm here doing my own thing. My first ladder match. It will not end well for you, or for you. Because that case, that money, is mine. Then out comes Double J, Jeff Jarrett last. He goes, ladies, gentlemen, all of you, just stop what you're talking about, because if there's one person on this entire roster who knows a thing or two about securing money in the bank, it's JEFFJARRETT over here. Now, I know you're looking at me, old and past it, Double J, he's not going to win Money in the Bank because he can't hang up with the rest of these young kids. Well, where there's a will, there's a way, and trust me, when it comes to making money in this business, I find a way. So you can all sit back and watch history as the greatest money securer in the history of professional wrestling gets his job done yet again. And Grayson was like, well, that's actually glad you're in here, Jeff, because, the first question I've got here is for you, actually. And it says, Dear Jeff, my question is, how do you feel knowing that you were only ever a mid-card bum for life and you had to open your own company to become world champion, yet you think that this year, the year 2023, at the age of 56, you're finally going to get to become world champion in WWE? And Jeff goes, well, the person who previously held me down here is long gone, okay? And now it's all about me and my time. And I've got that experience of smashing guitars over people's heads, so if you don't shut your little mouth, Grayson, that'll be you. And Grayson's like, okay, well, I've got my next question. My next question is actually for Julia here. It says, Julia, there's another woman in this match on the SmackDown side, Florence, who you two have sort of been joined at the hip together, as sort of like seen as the two rising stars here in the women's division, 1A and 1B, Is it going to be a big moment to see if you can try and break away from that on Money in the Bank? And Julia just glares a hole through Grayson Waller. And he goes, tough crowd, I guess. And then Julia smacks probably Zelina Vega. And then the women brawl, the men brawl, and we get the big old schmoz. Someone probably goes through the table. Let's say Shinsuke. But the segment ends with Grayson Waller on his own talk show, laying out Xavier Woods with that stunner, and climbing the ladder and pulling down the men's Money in the Bank briefcase, and him posing on top of the ladder. Probably got his phone. I probably imagine we're still going to do the gimmick where he streams the Grayson Waller effect live on Instagram, so like he's live streaming it, and he's holding the case up on top of the ladder, because I think that would just be a fun shot. But then we go to commercial after that, because the men have to get out of here, because the opening match, stemming from that segment, is a women's tag team match. Despite just smacking her in the face, Julia and Zelina have got to coexist against AJ and Roxy. And the match is a 77. And they do coexist. And, well, they don't even really coexist. It's more so they coexist better than Roxy and AJ. And, yeah, Zelina pins AJ with a cutter. People are looking at her as the underdog from this Raw side, probably, and she got the win here tonight, so who's to say anything? 82 for AJ, 71 for Roxy, 73 for Zelina, and an 86 for Julia. And, yeah, the two friends against two people who can't get along, but it is these two who win, because I guess of miscommunication on this end. So, already we're seeing cracks in friendships over this briefcase. That's what it does to a man or woman. And then cut to the back. Batista is in the back with Humberto and Zergus. And he's like, well, the They're rewatching the end of last week's Raw with that big schmoz with the Paragon, Jeff Jarrett's crew, AJ, Finn, Cody, and Drew, and them. And he goes, well, you know, Money in the Bank is 5 days away, and we're yet to see a Raw Tag Team Championship match confirmed for that show. But don't you worry, because I've got just the plan. You see, I see a lot of tag team options in that match right now. So, I will announce right here tonight, right now, that this Saturday night at Money in the Bank in London, it will be Path of the Dragon defending in a 4-way tag team match against the Good Brothers, the Fritz Brothers, and the team of AJ Styles and Finn Balor. And Circus and Alberto were like, you know, we welcome the challenge, you know, it's going to be fun. But we didn't come this far just to lose in a 4-way. So, you stack the odds against who you want, Dave. We're coming out on top. We then got to the ring. Imperium make their way out to the ring. And, yeah. Gunnar's like, this is a disgrace. Okay, coming up this Saturday night, Money in the Bank, and no room for the Ring General. The Ring General. Not only does he not get another shot at becoming world champion after he never got his rematch after he lost the World Heavyweight Championship last month, but he's not in Money in the Bank, and now I hear not even in King of the Ring. Huh? This is not sacred. You know, I am the King of the Ring, whether I have a stupid crown or not. So, Batista, you know, fix this, fix your show, because I see some bull crap going on around here, and I can smell it. I can smell it bad. Out comes Christian. And he goes, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Gunther, you know. It's not really my place to get involved in your business, but I just came out here for one reason and one reason only. It's because, quite frankly, you don't deserve any of these opportunities that you've been demanding recently. Because you took out my best friend Edge, and we haven't seen him for nearly 2 months now, because you took him out at Backlash because you were angry with yourself. Okay? So you have been stepping out of line. Of course, I'm probably not the man to put you back in your place, because let's be honest, you could probably beat my ass. Like, I'm not stupid. Like, but somebody needs to come out here and tell you man to man, face to face, someone who's not scared of you, and tell you that you ain't the Ring General. A true Ring General will not stoop to the lows that you've stooped to in recent weeks. Just attacking people, demanding opportunities. You'd work your ass off to get those opportunities. But it's fine. You keep grinding. I'm sure you'll get your World Heavyweight Championship back soon. But all I see is a whining little bitch. I don't see this big, dominant Ring General who you claim to see. And goodness, like, big words, Christian. You said you're right about one thing. We haven't seen Edge since I put him out at Backlash. But you come out here again and get involved in my business, you'll see him. You'll see him up close and personal, because you'll be laying next to him in a hospital bed. Now get out of my ring. And Christian's like, okay, I don't want to fight. I just want to come out here and, you know, tell you that you're a whining bitch to your face, but I don't want to fight. Okay, I'm leaving. Christian just sort of leaves, and yeah, Gunther and Christian back and forth. We then cut backstage. Kathy Kelly, her guest is Johnny Gargano. And Kathy Kelly's like, Johnny, you know, Money in the Bank may not have been your opportunity, your night, but obviously starting next week following Money in the Bank is the return of King and Queen of the Ring, culminating at King of the Ring pay-per-view next month. And Johnny, you are going to go one-on-one with Ricochet tonight in a King of the Ring qualifying match. And Johnny goes, two halves of two of the greatest tag teams here in WWE here on Raw, Me and Ricochet have been at it a lot. So I know what to expect when I get into the ring with a guy like him. But Johnny Wrestling, he's built different. Johnny Wrestling, he's been awoken in me recently. And Ricochet, I respect the hell out of that guy. But tonight, I'm not holding back at all. Tonight is my night. My chance. Candice is over on SmackDown. She's doing her thing, and I'm damn proud till the day I die. But tonight, it's not about Candice. It's not about Ciampa. It's not about DIY. It's about Johnny freaking Wrestling. 74, I guess, is okay, considering, that's basically the average of what Sheamus and Ridge got, and Gable balances out what Go-Go's overall. But it is the previously announced tag match, Ridge Holland and Sheamus against Anthony Ogogo and Chad Gable. And, hold on, I'm just doing some gimmick shit. They all got good. Minimum. But it is, in 11 minutes 35, Sheamus pins the Intercontinental Champion with a Brogue Kick. So, if that happens this Saturday, Sheamus will finally win his first Intercontinental Championship here in WWE. 74 for Sheamus, 70 for Ridge, 51 for Anthony Ogogo, 86 for Chad Gable. And I can't believe his eyes. He gets in the crowd's face, they're there cheering Sheamus on. He's like, shush, shush. And he goes to shush Sheamus, but Sheamus just headbutts him again. And then he goes for a Brogue Kick on Gable, but Ogogo pulls Gable to safety. But the title was in the ring. Sheamus picked up the belt, holds the belt up high. And Gable's like, you fucking give that back, that's mine. I earned that, you did not. And he snatches the belt off him, and him and Ogogo retreat up the ramp as Sheamus and Ridge pose. I don't know, I didn't put Ridge and Ogogo on screen here. Very stupid of me, because they get the popularity rub for being on screen here. But instead it's just Sheamus and Gable. Okay. Let's go on 90, which is funny, because I know who I rated here. We see J-Flow backstage. They are going to be a part of that gauntlet on Heat. I can't remember the 5 teams on the top of my head, but I will check, before. But I know J-Flow are in it. And then into frame walks Brooks Jensen, draped head to toe in J-Flow merch, and Otis is by his side. And he goes, go on, girls, I want to wish you good luck on Heat tonight, Shame that, apparently I've got a match tonight, which, I would have loved to have been there by your side. That means more to me than my own wrestling match, girls, you have to understand. And Mackie's like, aw, good little simp. And she pulls a little simp hat, a hat with the word simp on it, and puts it on his head and just pats him on the head and goes, good boy, okay. And he's like, well, anything else I can do for you? You get all prepared, you need water, you need anything else like that. And then we can just see someone walking in the background. And Mackie's like, no, we're okay, we're good. We're gonna leave. I think it's for you. And she points at the other person who just walked in. And then they walk out. And Brooks like, for me? Who'd want to come and see me? He turns around and Randy Orton stood there. And he goes, Randy Orton just laughs. He goes, tonight, after what I said last week, I was told that I had to wrestle a young guy, second generation wrestler. And that's sort of my wheelhouse. And he just sort of looks at the scene of just Randy Orton, just glares out the corner of his eye at Brooks Jensen, who's just there draped head to toe in J-Flow merch and a hat that says simp on it. And he goes, is this the state of the next generation? This is why I still do this. Good luck, kid. And then he walks out, and Otis is like, ooh, tough luck, buddy. And he goes, I can take him. And he takes the simp hat off and drops the simp hat on the floor. It's speaking of music groups, we head to the Titus World Record Studio when Elias walks in. And he's angry. He goes, "What the hell was that last week, Titus, okay?" Titus goes, "Look, I understand there was a bit of a misunderstanding, but okay, but like, truth, he lost that 24/7 title to Joe Hendry at WrestleMania. We're trying to get it back for him because things in Titus World Records, they just aren't hidden the same without the 24/7 title around it. Sort of like an honorary member of the group, if you get my drift." And Elias like, "No, I don't really get your drift. Look, I didn't join this group to play hot potato with a paperweight, okay? I came here to become and further my career, because I thought that's what this record label was all about, okay? So if Truth wants to keep playing around with silly little titles like that, be my guest. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here to take this seriously. Are you?" And Titus is like, "Yes, Elias. Yes, I am here to take this seriously." And Elias goes, "Well, you better start, because I'm not seeing it. And if I'm not seeing it, your hot new act, your hot new star, face of your brand, is out that door." And he sort of just walks away. And Truth sort of like just bumps in the face and he goes, "I told you, dog, we should have got the axolotl." And Titus goes, "Hell no, I wouldn't go that far. We can sort this out, but no." 79, that's okay. Following up from last week where Sasha faced off against Kelsey Cook. We're going to have her face Anne-Marie this week to give them both singles matches against Sasha. 89 for Sasha, 59 for Anne-Marie, 79 for the match, I guess is perfect for that. But yeah, another nice win for Sasha ahead of Money in the Bank, where she will challenge the Queen for the WWE Women's Championship. And Sasha takes the mic after the match and she's like, "Okay, well, we've been here before, haven't we? Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair on WWE pay-per-view for the championship. And I see you all looking at me going, Sasha, that didn't end too well for me last time, did it? Okay, but that's exactly why it's going to end differently this time. Because Charlotte, she's been parading around here for too long. Okay? She may have won the championship back in January, held it ever since. 6 months. For Charlotte, that's a lifetime, you know? Usually she's chucking 1 week, 2 week reigns around here just, stat pad and get close to daddy's little number. But this Saturday, Charlotte, listen to me. The boss you used to step into this ring with on pay-per-view 7 years ago, she's not here anymore. This is a different me. This is a Sasha Banks who's determined. I wasn't even supposed to be in this match. So you're goddamn right, I'm going to take this opportunity and run with it. Okay? And if you want to keep overlooking me, be my guest. Because if you do that, you're looking at the next WWE Women's Champion. And then Charlotte and Ariana and Ava come out. And Charlotte goes, "Wow, Sasha, I'm getting such deja vu hearing you back there babbling on and spitting my name out of your mouth yet again, but you are right about one thing. Things have changed in the last 7 years. You see, what I've done over the last 7 years, I've won multiple championships, 13-time champion. And you've done alright for yourself, Sasha, but you're not on my level, are you? And especially now, I'm working on bolstering the next generation of second-generation talent here in WWE. And you're out here all by yourself because your own friends abandoned you." Sasha goes, "Okay, look, so I may not have anyone by my side, but I don't need anyone by my side. But just because I haven't got people by my side doesn't mean you've not got people aiming for your back." And then Ariana and Ava are jumped by Jordan, Aaliyah, and Skylar. And them three fight off the other two members of the Royal Dynasty. And Charlotte gets distracted by this. When she turns around, Sasha takes her down with some move and locks her in the bank statement. And Charlotte visually taps out and is then dragged out. Ariana and Ava, I guess, somehow managed to get away from the fight and grab her legs and pull her out onto the bottom rope. But yes, a visual submission by Sasha on the Queen here tonight. will that be happening again this Saturday night at Money in the Bank? Only time will tell. We then cut backstage. AJ and Roxy are sort of like just sitting around backstage, like unhappy they lost that tag match. And AJ goes, "Okay, look, first of all, I my bad. Like, I let the whole tensions of being in Money in the Bank get to my head, and you know, I cast us tonight. You know, it's on me as the better woman here and the veteran with the experience to the rookie. I take responsibility and put this one on me." And Roxy's like, "Rookie? Like, I mean, okay, sure, sorry. Yes, it's fine, AJ, you know. But I actually am kind of content that it happened the way it did, because you and I, we were taking this lightly. For the past week since you qualified, all I've been thinking is, what happens if me and AJ are in the match together and we're fighting each other and it comes down to the two of us?" And I thought, am I really going to hit my idol, my hero, my new friend? But after tonight, I know that it's everyone for herself. So if it comes down to the three of us on that ladder, I'm knocking you off. And AJ just laughs. He goes, "Oh, are you? Okay. Because, let me tell you, because if it comes down to the two of us on that ladder, I'm knocking you off." And then Roxy just sort of laughs. It's like, we'll have to see about that, won't we? And, you know, ending with friendly banter between the two, because, you know, all is right in the world. They're friends again, I guess. Speaking of all being right in the world, the anime boys are back on our screens. That's how you know everything's all right in the world. And they have the code. Of course, last week they deciphered the code. It was Ashura's winter shall be called. I yearn for silver, not for gold. When I achieve my greatest power, I sit atop the final hour. And of course, Manny, being Manny, has no idea what this means, and neither did any of the other crew. But luckily for them, there's an ace detective in this village. His name is Detective Johnny Dango. He's here for one night only. He's not back full time. It's just he was perfect for this segment. And he goes, "Boys, Saray, I hear that you guys have a bit of a detective issue that needs to be solved." And Dio's like, "Manny, are you sure this is the guy?" And he's like, "Yes, this is the greatest detective in the history of the WWE, okay? He'll solve this for us." And I'm like, yes, we do, Johnny Dango. So here's the problem, okay? We got this piece of paper that says a riddle on it. We don't know what it means. We need your help to figure it out. And Johnny Dango is like, "Well, I can help you solve this riddle. He's over on SmackDown." And they all just look at each other like, "No, not Matt Riddle. This riddle." He goes, "Oh, I see. Well, usually I'd have a friend by my side to string me along here, but we'll see what I can do about this Matt Riddle problem you have." And Saray's just sort of like staying in the background, like shaking her head. And Manny goes, What's up?" She's like, "He's stupid." And Manny goes, "Don't talk about Johnny Dango like that." And then I can imagine they cut across to him, and he's like trying to pin shit on a pinboard, but like the paper keeps falling down or something. Some silly thing like that makes him look dumb. And Manny's like, "Yeah, then we might be here a while." Then we get a montage of Johnny Dango hard at work, you know, pinning pieces of paper up, putting the little strings, like trying to work out what this all means.
One eternity later. 9090. 8080. Ravioli.
Wake up! And they all wake up. And he goes, I think I've solved it. The case. I was like, well, what does it mean? And he goes, the winter shall be cold. Because, you know, it's chilly out. Chilly. Like the country. And then you have silver and not gold. So you're second. Second place chili. And that got me thinking, what is chili? And I thought, maybe this guy, he made a chili and it came second in a chili contest. And then they all sort of look at each other and like, how much did you pay this guy, Manny? And he's like, too much by the sounds of it. Okay, buddy, and what about the second half? And he's like, achieve my greatest power. And I wonder what is man's greatest power. And to that I think, freedom. And to search up the final hour means he was awake at midnight. And who is free to stay awake at midnight? Why? But a rebellious teen. So maybe this is a rebellious teen who entered in a chili contest and came second. And Dio's like, okay, Johnny Dango, thanks for your help. That was really great. Okay, so I'll get Manny to, you know, tip you and send you the money via PayPal. And yeah, okay, thanks for your help today. Now I know what we're doing. And he's like, no, thank you guys. Thanks to you, Detective Dango is back in business. And then he slams the door shut behind them. And then Sensei just walks up to the board that Johnny Dango was at, just rips everything off and goes, guess we're going to do this ourselves then. Just a fun little cameo for Detective Johnny Dango. Oh my goodness. We go from that to an 80 rated match. Brooks Jensen versus Randy Orton. Randy beats him in 7:46, but the match still gets an 80. An 84 for Randy, a 53 for Brooks. And yeah, you know, Randy beats down another young whippersnapper of this generation. And he grabs the mic after the match and he goes, is that the best this generation has? Okay, listen here. This guy's father, you know, I knew this guy's father. This guy's father will be embarrassed by what his son's become. The same way that I look around here and I see a bunch of children playing professional wrestler. Okay, back in my day when I was taking out all those legends, okay, I knew how to get to the top. These guys don't know nothing. Then we hear like a noise coming from the crowd. And then Randy turns around to see what the commotion is. When Dudley bounces off the top rope and hits that Dudley device, he turns Randy on inside out to a big pop. And then Dudley picks up the mic and he goes, you want to see what the next generation's all about, Randy? Well, next week, it's me and you, King of the Ring. And I'm going to prove to you why I am the next king here on Raw. Mike gets slammed down. Dudley gets his payback on Randall Keefe. And yeah, the first confirmed, I guess, King of the Ring match will be Randy Orton and Dudley Davis. Of course, I'll have the whole brackets ready for next week. But there are some things that I can't exactly display right now before the pay-per-view. So yeah, this is one of the matches I can announce though. We then head back to Bring Ellie Home. And they're still looking. Actually, no, we're backstage this time. They've actually managed to come to the arena. They're no longer stuck at Heathrow, wherever they were before. And they're picking up. They've got signs that say, like, missing man, Elton Prince, please return him. It's Tonya and Kit putting them up. Breeze again, just sort of like chilling in the background, doing nothing. And Tonya Breeze is like, I think this might work, okay. And Kit's gone, you know, this is a great plan, you know. putting these arenas for put these posters for our lost friend around the arena that he'd be showing up to work with. I can't think of a reason why this wouldn't be smart and a good idea. Charlie's like, exactly. So now we just have to wait for somebody here to find Ellie and bring him back to us. And Kit's like, Ellie. And Tony's like, this isn't like Marco Polo, you know. He's not going to just respond. And Kit's like, I know it sucks, you know, because, you know, I'm good at finding missing people. You know, a cat ran away once. And Tony's like, oh yeah. She's like, yeah, you know. And getting him back was easy. All we had to do was say his name.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Henry's like, what do we got going on here, boys, girl? And Tony's like, perfect. Have you seen this man? And Henry just sort of looks at the paper, looks at Kit, and he's like, your tag team partner. He's like, yes, have you seen him? And Henry's like, no, I haven't seen him. He's like, well, what use you are? Why are you even here? And Henry just shrugs and went, you said my name. And then he walks off. And then Kit just laughs, like, sissy. So for some people, it is that easy to find them, but not our Ellie. Not our Ellie. Yeah, you're damn right, he got a great yes boy gimmick. We then head back to Batista's office when he like sat down doing some things. When we hear like the sound of like somebody imitating playing guitar, like it's going meh, 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 as he walks through the door, and it's Boogs. He goes, Dave, it's me, I'm back. And he goes, Boogs, you know, believe it or not, I was starting to miss you. You know, there's a lot of things going on here tonight, and I could have used the assistant. Okay, and then we hear another knock at the door, and Boogs like, well, I'm not sure who that is. He opens the door and Alexa's there, and he goes, ew, get out of my way. Dave, okay. Dave, you'll never guess what. And he goes, what? He goes, okay, so the Legends Night thing? But he's like, yeah. She goes, okay, well, forget, I'll get to that in a sec. Okay, that's not important right now. What matters is this. I've been on the phone to the biggest legend in WWE history, the man who will put eyes on Monday Night Raw and get you those ratings boosts you need and get me the job that I so deserve. And she's like, oh yeah. And she goes, yes. And all I had to do in return was provide him a spot in King of the Ring. She's like, King of the Ring? For an old guy? Actually goes, I never said he was old. Okay, I just said he was a legend and would bring eyes to Raw. So, what do you say? Batista goes, okay, you see, on one hand, I would like to get eyes on Raw and have a legend in King of the Ring. But on the other hand, you're Alexa. It's like, what's that supposed to mean? It's like, you're not exactly being the most trustworthy around here. I don't know what you consider a legend. And Alex like, trust me, everybody considers this guy a legend, okay? He's like the biggest thing in the world. Okay? And if I'm wrong, and I won't bother you anymore. She's like, well, okay, I guess he can fight the winner of Ricochet and Johnny Gargano next week in a King of the Ring match. That's like, yes, okay, I'll go tell him to get to the arena quickly. Okay, he was just waiting outside. She goes, great, okay, I can't wait to see who it is. 62, just a quick match, you know. Fierce and the Fabulous still doing their thing. They're actually a little bit probably more pissed off tonight because they aren't in the gauntlet on Heat for, you know, the title match for some reason, because whoever Brandy decided to put in fucking Toxic Attraction and all them over them. But yeah, they're taking out on Lash and Jakara here, and they win 8:48. Shayna submits Jakara with the Kirifuda clutch. 31 for Lash, 24 for Jakara, 69 for Shayna, and a 59 for Carmella. Yeah, not too shabby actually. They're still doing well. I'm still enjoying their shtick. Then sees Zelina backstage. She's gassed up for her win. She goes, Money in the Bank's gonna be so awesome. You know, it's gonna be a chance for the LWO to finally prove their worth here in WWE. You know, Santos serve on SmackDown, and Ray, of course, the Cruiserweight champion. So we can have two champions in the ranks of the LWO once I win Money in the Bank at Money in the Bank. And Ray, you're going to defend against that Scripts guy on Friday, and it's going to be all great. And then Ray's like, yes, the LWO are taking over WWE, and for once it's nice to know there are people that have my back, and not my damn son who is trying his hardest to stab me in it. Okay, but I'll be cheering Zelina on Saturday night, just like she'll be cheering me on Friday. LWO for life and shit like that. Aleister Black, he then cuts a promo in Spooky Dude Room where he says more shit about fate and how he's found his next target and how, this target may be the biggest prize yet because this target will prove that Aleister Black is all that he's made out to be, that the gods say that Aleister Black will decide his own future. Be prepared. $97. I knew this would be good. I knew I should have put it on last, but I wasn't expecting it to be this good. The King of the Ring qualifier, Johnny Gargano versus Ricochet, goes 14:45, and it is Johnny Gargano who punches his place in King of the Ring. He pins Ricochet in 14:45 of a Hertz Donut. Ricochet gets a 92, Gargano gets an 81, so apparently the wrong person won. But I know what Gargano is doing in King of the Ring, so he was the right person in my view based on how TEW works as a video game. And then after he wins, he celebrates getting into King of the Ring when Alexa comes out. Because Johnny. It's like, okay, first of all, hi, it's me. Okay, you remember me? Old Raw General Manager Alexa Bliss. Free agent, by the way, in case anybody wants to, sign me to their show. I've had no phone calls, can you believe that? I guess my phone must not be picking up the correct signal. Anyway, I have some fantastic news for you, Johnny. Okay, so, you've won your spot in King of the Ring. Congratulations, yay, Johnny. Trust me, as an Ohio girl, I'd be pulling for you to win. You're Cleveland, I'm Columbus, Ohio connection. But I'm here to break the news to you, Johnny, that you're not going to win. As a matter of fact, you're not even going to be Cleveland's best representative in King of the Ring, because next week you're going to take on a real top star from Cleveland, Ohio, a legend, and your opponent in the first round of King of the Ring. Out comes Logan Paul, boos echoing around the arena. He shakes hands with Alexa Bliss, and he points at Johnny. He's like, it's mine, I'm going to win the king. He does a crown motion, a crown gesture, like he's going to win the crown or some shit. But, not lost in all of this, Logan Paul is going to wrestle his first match on Raw next week against Johnny Gargano in the first round of the King of the Ring from the Raw side. Two Clevelanders going at it. May see if I can get it booked in Cleveland, because that sounds fun. But yeah, so we now know two first round King of the Ring matches on the Raw side, those being Johnny Gargano against Logan Paul and Dudley Davis against Randy Orton. So what I was saying earlier on about Ricochet and Johnny, obviously I debated to start with Ricochet winning because they're doing Logan and Ricochet in real life, and that sounds fun. But Johnny Gargano is a ring general, I think, and he'll have the psychology to, be able to get a decent match out of Logan, whereas Ricochet and Logan would pretty much guarantee to be dinged by Psych. So I'm content with Johnny being the one to face him. But yes, will the Maverick become the king? And there we are, we just heard it. Next week, Alexa Bliss is promising us Legends Night. We heard her ask for Ric Flair's number from Batista. But other than that, and the existence of Logan Paul, she's really keeping her cards close to her chest, which is a bit worrying for a show that could end up securing her a job or not. So we'll have to wait and see who or what she has in store for us next week. But we also just heard Battle of Cleveland in the King of the Ring quarterfinal as Johnny Gargano takes on the Maverick in his Raw debut, Mr. Logan Paul himself. And then the other quarterfinal first round match of King of the Ring will be Randy Orton taking on Dudley Davis. We do also have 2 first round Queen of the Ring matches, but the opponents and participants in those have yet to be announced, because there's some stuff on Money in the Bank that will determine the spots in Queen of the Ring. But there will be 2 opening round matches for that tournament next week as well. Speaking of Money in the Bank, we have another new, I believe potentially, definitely the last Raw match. It's the second to last match in general, I think. Or technically third, but it's the 4-way for the Raw Tag Team Championship as part of the Dragon defend not only against Planet Jarrett's Good Brothers, but also the Paragon's Fritz Brothers and the duo of AJ Styles and Finn Balor in London at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Finn Balor going to rep his club on the big stage. Maybe he'll be the first person to bring a trophy or a title back there. 91. Not as good as Ricochet and Johnny, but still a pretty fucking solid main event, if I do say so myself. Thank fuck. Cody's gimmick was adequate before, so I had to change it just now to an American Nightmare gimmick, and I was just praying it wasn't going to get poor, but it got great, so that's fine. Anyway, in 90 minutes and 50 seconds, the Paragon pick up the win. Adam Cole pins Finn Balor with a last shot in 19 minutes 50. 73 for Kevin Fritz, 77 for David Fritz, 76 for Bobby Roode, 95 for Adam Cole, 82 for Finn, 80 for AJ, 89 for Drew, and 88 for Cody Rhodes. And yes, the last shot before Money in the Bank is Adam Cole victorious over Cody Rhodes' team. Well, again, will that happen this Saturday night in London at Tottenham? Who's to say? 94 rated show, yeah, we take those. We definitely take those. And yeah, that's the end of the build to Money in the Bank for the Raw side. We do have Heat, which will have I believe the whole show will be a gauntlet. I'm tempted to be cheeky and tick off the all-night gauntlet match goal I have with this one on Heat, because it's only an hour. But I'm not sure if that's me being too cheeky, or if I should not be able to do that. Anyway, we'll see you on the other side for the Tag Team Gauntlet. It's time for the Gauntlet, baby. Of course, the numbers were drawn. The 5 teams were J-Flow and Double Trouble, as you can see here, Toxic Attraction, Lyra and Killer Kelly, and Nightlight. Yes, those were the 5 teams. The show starts off with the first match of the Gauntlet, J-Flow and Double Trouble. 2 teams I've actually seen tonight because, Anne-Marie took on Sasha on Raw, which I have had her take the pin hit Tam in 13 minutes 9 seconds, and that would be part of the commentary would be oh, she has already wrestled tonight. Yeah. So yeah, J-Flow pick up the first win of the Gauntlet. 79 for Mackie, 75 for Tam, 66 for Kelsey, 67 for Anne-Marie. And then the next team in is Nightlight, Shantae Washington, and Naomi. This gets a 73. Tam breaks her nose, but luckily she can continue wrestling with a broken nose, so that doesn't affect anything. Because they do win again, J-Flow. Mackie and Tam pin Nightlight. Mackie pins Shantae Washington with a diving headbutt. 80 for Tam, 79 for Mackie, 77 for Naomi, and a 55 for Shantae. It's probably going to tell me that Shantae broke Tam's nose. Trish thinks. No, it just says broken nose. Okay. Next team in is... Oh, no, it does, yeah. Shantae Washington got some... Okay, never mind. Next team in is the Birds of Prey, which is Lyra Valkyria and Killer Kelly, who end the run of J. I'm happy now that Tam broke her nose, that I have an out. That's how she gets pinned. Lyra Valkyria pins Tam with a guillotine. 59 for Killer Kelly, 70 for Lyra Valkyria, 69 for Tam, 84 for Mackie. I know that Birds of Prey is the name of another tag team. Will Ospreay and Eddie, Robbie Eagles even. That was one of the reasons why I was hesitant to use this name, but I got about 5 different people that was nah, just do it, it's fine. It's the perfect name for this team. So, yes, sue me, Will Ospreay, what are you going to do? Please don't do that, actually. That would really fuck up some stuff. And then the final team in is Toxic Attraction. Because the gauntlet got worse as the matches went on. But of course it is Killer Kelly and Lyra Valkyria who pick up the win. Killer Kelly submits Gigi in 10:52 to earn her and Lyra, two NXT UK alumni, getting the UK title match on the kickoff show at Money in the Bank. 68 for Gigi, 55 for JC, 65 for Lyra, and a 61 for Killer Kelly. So all in all, 70 is pretty good for those ratings. And then the show just ends with Tatum and Ivy coming in, holding the belts up, face-to-face, handshake. Should be a fun little tag team match here. I really like what I'm doing with the tag division here. I've got a combination of like some established tag teams and then some new blood in the division. I think it's a really good division. I think I've had 3 years to build it up, so it's fine. But Heat, gets a 71. He slightly overused Killer Kelly. It's fine, it's Heat. Nobody gives a fuck. What matters more is what you thought of Raw. So do let me know what you thought of Raw in the comments below, and I'll see you next time for SmackDown, which will be their go-home show for Money in the Bank, and the last show, period, before Money in the Bank. See you then. And it'll be in London as well. So all Velocity. Got a pretty big Velocity coming up as well. See you then.